Leadership, they say, goes beyond providing basic amenities for the community, especially when the system itself is unstable and is poor. So the essence of this show is to tell you what true leadership is about. This is Go and Verify on Obidati Family TV, and my name is Jessica Chinwe. So today, of course, I am not alone. My beautiful host is here with me.
I am Sharon Chuku.
Yeah, welcome, Sharon.
Thank you.
So yesterday we were talking about the evolution of Anambra State's economy when Peter Obi was still the governor of Anambra State, and we'll continue from there. So Sharon, can we just give a recap of what we said yesterday?
Oh, we said a whole lot of things.
Yes, starting from the road.
Yes, the bridges, the infrastructure.
Yes, the hospitals.
Yes, innocent motors and everything that he just did, basically. But we didn't touch everything, did we?
Yeah, we didn't. It was so much.
Yeah, we didn't.
I don't think we can even exhaust what we have to talk about today. We have a lot, and we'll still continue tomorrow if we can't exhaust it. So let's talk about the fact that before I jump into my first point, I also want to note that Peter Obi is someone that goes beyond what he's familiar with, because this is normal thing, like it's normal in life. In order for you to know where or how to conquer an issue, you need to source from other people. Like, how were you able to get this done, right?
Exactly.
So Peter Obi is someone that accepts the fact that he doesn't really know everything. So he goes all out to know or try to see how he can, implement other people's strategy in order for him to build Anambra. So one of it is tourism. And tourism is one of the ways to boost the economy of the country. Yeah, so that is what Peter Obi did. And the first point today is that Peter Obi promised, when he was giving him his manifesto, he promised that he was going to build a tourist center for Anambra. And one of the things he did was to provide major hotels and resort center. One of it was Agulu Resort Center. 5-star Agulu Resort Center. And it was one of the ways, to boost tourism.
To boost tourism.
In Anambra, and it's amazing.
It's really amazing because So these are the things that attract people to a place, that attract people to either a country or a certain place. And it also generates revenue because you come and you spend money there. Yes, you come and you spend money there, and from there you also go to other parts of that state or other parts of the country. So not only it's just like you're using that place as a bait to draw people so that they can also make investments in that particular place. So that was really wise.
Yeah, really, really wise.
Yeah, and I also I also liked the fact that not only did he do these things, you were mentioning how tourism is also part, and how he likes to learn from, how
other
yesterday,
people.
We talked about Bangladesh.
Yeah, he went to the other countries to know the reason why they are poor and how they are able to get out from that. Yeah,
so this is something that he does, and I'm sure he will continue doing.
Definitely. I like that part, because one thing I like about leadership is how that you accept that you are not perfect, and you are Peter Obi is someone that can go round Anambra State just to source for the reason why this thing is. I was watching an interview yesterday, and then Sunrise TV, or not Sunrise, channel under a program. Then they were asking him of what he has done so far, and he was like, "You don't ask me. You go out and ask other people, because it is when you write an exam, you don't know if you've passed. It is the people that are marking the whole stuff that will tell you." So that's the point. You don't need to ask me, because to me, I would tell you that, okay, this is what I did. But what are other people saying? So he was telling those people that go round and ask. But then he didn't stop there. He also mentioned that he had to, by himself, he took a bus with other people without security. And he went to the market and he was asking people, and they were asking the market women, what did Peter Obi did? And because there was no paparazzi, security and all those things, so they're just pouring out their heart and telling us what Peter Obi has done. So it is verified. It is verified.
And you mentioned when he said that you'd have to do that research on your own. And it's true, because if you're working with Peter Obi, you know, when there was a time he said that P2B doesn't blow his own trumpet.
Yeah.
And that's because he tells people that, look, these things, people will find out. He feels like, and which is rightly so, that if you're doing something, the good thing you're doing will speak for itself.
True.
So, of course, you don't have to start asking him.
Yes.
It's someone who even didn't do anything that will say, oh, I did this.
Yeah,
oh, I did that. So
doing something.
Exactly. You understand? So, of course, he would ask you to go and verify. That's what his deeds are for. If he didn't do it, he will just start calling this out on paper. So, of course, he would ask you to go
even lie.
And even go as far as lying. And, you know, we're still talking about things that he did in Anambra State and the infrastructures and how transportation was made easier.
Yeah.
We touched that yesterday. Then there's something that I want us to also, a point though, that I want us to look at is the fact that while as a governor of Anambra State, he was also being appointed by the then president, that is former President Goodluck Jonathan, and he was appointed as special advisor on economy. Yeah. So I think he was the only governor at that time that was a governor, and also had another position in federal government. So that was really notable.
Yeah. Let me chip something in. So I watched also an interview with Peter Obi and other people, and then they were like, the fact that Jonathan gave you this position even while you were still in APGA, why did you have to collect it? And there is something that he said, and I was like, wow, this is great. His mindset is just so different. He was like, capacity is not based on parties. So if the fact that the president called him and appointed him to do one or two things, is not doing so because he's in APGA or he's in PDP. Yeah. So Peter Obi understand that capacity is not based on which party you are. Exactly. And that is what he tries to portray to everyone, that he's not coming out to vie for the post of presidency because he's an evil person. Like he mentioned one time when he said that the price of fuel is not different in Kano. The price of fuel is not different. It's the same everywhere. Everybody is feeling this thing that is going on in Nigeria. Exactly. So,
you know how you just said this. I also watched, you said something about being accountable. I also watched when Aisha Yusuf was saying something on Arise TV, and she said that the reason why she is in P2B's camp is not just to come and be calling him Your Excellency, His Excellency. She's going to keep him accountable. She's going to go on the streets, make demands, and she is expecting that it be met, that her demands are met, and that's why she's also supporting someone as P2B, because he's someone that listens, not like the present government that did what they did on October 20th during NSAS. So this is not someone that you protest and they will release tear gas on you. This is not a man that when you go to protest, they'll turn off the lights and start killing people. So
true. I love that part. I love that. Okay, let's also go to another point. Let's talk about the fact that he provided thousands, not thousands, I beg your pardon. He provided millions, millions of waste truck evacuation. Like, it was so amazing. To be honest, right now in Anambra State, maybe not all the Anambra,
let's talk about
Ifite. The level or the height of deaths in that area is something we really need to look at.
It's
just as if nobody cares.
Ifite is the most neglected
area in Anambra, right?
In Anambra State, when it concerns waste management, and nobody, you see these trucks, these waste trucks, they only come few days. And they go to main markets like First Market, they go to a Korka Market, Second Market, and they just pack those ones. But you enter inside school areas, and it's crazy. You can't even live there. You can't even believe that human beings are living there. Look at a residential area. Look at where people are disposing waste. And nobody, it's not as if there's a right place, as if they make provision for where you should deposit that. So because there is no rule, there can't be any flouting of that rule. Do you understand? So everybody's just doing what they want because there's no rule per se. So I don't know where, this is a lot. The 300, I think it's over 300 millions of trucks. I don't know where.
Too many.
That's too much money. I wish that happened now, because it would have solved a lot when it concerns waste management. So that's just really good.
One thing I like is that there are certain things that Peter Obi does, and you're like, where did he get this idea from? It shows that he's not just sitting down and thinking of this thing because he's just one man. He tries to, you know, bring everyone and for them to show him or tell him what is necessary in the states. And this is something remarkable. Let's also talk about, I know this one is trending, but then why won't we talk about it? The fact that he was impeached for having a lot of savings. I mean, who does that?
He was impeached for being stingy and for saving
the word stingy. He was removed because he was able to save.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when they call you stingy, right? Because you are saving money. That's why they call you. They call you stingy because you are not giving them free money. They call you stingy because you are not opening government funds and releasing it to everybody. Of course, he was called stingy. I mean, Peter B, when he was governor of Anambra State, did something that I don't know why other governors did not learn from, because till now I've not heard of any governor that did what he did. I mean, he came into Anambra State and saw the state that Anambra was in. Anambra was deep in debt, and then he was leaving millions of dollars in investments in cash for Anambra State. And you see the transparency, and you see that the savings actually paid off. All the very generous governors. What happened? The generous governors, so what did their state benefit?
In quotes, though.
In quotes. So
talking about investments, let's also point out that the fact that he was able to invest and save money, it attracted foreign investors.
It did,
and it made Anambra Anambra had the highest shares of foreign investors. That was where he got the money, where he was able to, you know, leave about 75
billion. The investments he made in multinational companies.
Yes, he was able to leave 75 billion for his successor. I mean, other governors or president or whatever, they would take that money for themselves. Well, it's amazing.
And it's really amazing because I think Peter B has it's not as if I see him as this is who Peter B is. You know, he worked in the private sector, and we are still going to touch on what he did in the private sector. So he also was into banking, and we know he was major shareholders of different banks in Nigeria. And this investment is not, I don't think that is everybody that knows how to invest or how to make the right investment. So I also believe that it was his background in finance that actually helped him, you understand, that actually gave him the information or that backed up his experience so that he made the right, what if, because this could have gone south, what if he made an investment and it backfired and Anambra was now left in debt. So
he understand what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. So that's good.
Speaking about capacity, I would like to tell you all, or just brief you guys on some of the things that Peter Obi has done, the position so far. I think, like you mentioned, that for you to be able to know how to invest, you must have gone through a series of experiences and handle certain things. And one of them is the fact that he was appointed by the president into the economic management and vice chairman Nigerian Government Forum from 2008 to 2014, and was made chairman Southeast Governor Forum, and also the former chairman Board of Securities and Exchange Commission, and the former chairman Fidelity Bank PLC, former chairman Guardian Express Mortgage Bank, and a lot of them. But I think we'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll dissect more on how Anambra State evolved through Peter Obi. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is my message to the Nigerian youths. I am glad that we have this great opportunity to discuss about the future of this country, Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all of us, but to the youths most especially. I am super proud of what the youths have done, the realization that indeed the power lies with the youth. Indeed, successive governments and leadership have failed the youths. They've dismissed their capacity, the creativity, innovation, and this is why we are where we were. I am here to speak to you that not only am I proud of you, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, is super proud of you. We are proud of the movement you're leading and all the sacrifices being made for a better Nigeria. I can tell you, Peter Obi means well for Nigerian youths. He will run a youth-inclusive government, and purposeful leadership that will usher in a new dawn for generations to come. Job issues, unemployment, and indeed all the other hazards that we face as a younger generation, I believe will be a thing of the past, at least reduced significantly. I'm here to remind you that we are the last lap of this race, when we all need to come to the consciousness that the effort we're going to put in the next coming weeks can change our trajectory completely and positively. So I want to urge you, do what you can to keep on the fight until a better Nigeria is achieved. You need to make sure that you realize again that you're actually the one running for presidency, just using Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed as symbol. We are coming for a better Nigeria. This is time.
Welcome back to Obidati Family TV. It's your beautiful host Jessica Chinwe, and co-hosting with me is the same beautiful. Because I was going to mention the beautiful.
Oh, I thought you weren't.
All right, so we've been talking about the fact that Peter Obi was able to skyrocket the economy of Anambra State when he was still the governor. Yeah. And we've mentioned a lot of things if you've been following us, but then we'll continue. Let's also talk about the fact that he refused to collect pension even after he was the governor.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so I like that fact because I feel like Peter Obi has this vision to become the president beforehand. I just feel like it. Like, because his actions and his inactions and everything just portrays that I want to do this thing, so I have to live by these standards. You get? I don't know if you follow with me.
I understand where you're coming from.
I'm not saying that he's just acting. I just feel like he's a man of vision.
All right.
Because when you see someone with vision, like their actions and everything they do is just in accordance, right? Okay. So I just feel like and being a man of vision is good.
It is good. Yeah. It's good to have vision, and it's good to be ambitious.
Yes,
especially if you have value and you have something to bring to the table. I do not buy into ambitious people who do not have any value whatsoever. I do not buy into people who have what I call it foresight, but you don't have anything to contribute positively. So you should just as well kill that foresight, in my own opinion. So yeah, Peter B is someone who has value. He's someone who has foresight and vision. And we can see now that everybody wants someone like that, because you can't be a half-baked man or a half-baked leader. Okay, so yeah, I definitely like that as well.
Okay, all right, let's move to the other point. The fact that Peter Obi built the first secretariat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's made easy for civil servants to come together and operate and do whatever they wanted to do, and it's amazing. And it's not just building, like, the whole thing was huge. You know, yesterday we were talking about the fact that he doesn't just do, he goes extra mile to provide the best of the best and everything.
He does, he does.
And I want to contribute to that.
Yeah, to building the first secretariat, we see this is structure, right? He brought structure to Anambra state government. Imagine a state that didn't have an official or a physical structure for where they had held meetings.
It's funny that they were scattered.
Yeah, they were scattered. It didn't make sense. So this is the same man. I'm really glad you mentioned that point, because people now get to see that this is the same man that they are saying he doesn't have structure. We are seeing the structured things that he did when he was governor of Anambra State. So I love to see that. Of course, I like that fact as well.
Yeah. All right, so I also want to mention the fact that there was a time in 2012 when this flood in Anambra took a toll on them, and it's I think they borrowed a lot of money, and it was hard for them to clear it. But then when Peter Obi came on board, he cleared about 20 million. Was it 20 or 20 billion?
How much
money was huge.
Anambra State owing then?
20 million.
Okay.
Accumulated from 2012.
Oh, really?
Till that time when he became the governor of Anambra State. Like, that's huge.
That's really huge. And
other governor or president or whatever,
they will continue. The debt will
continue.
The debt will increase
and keep borrowing
times two. It will go from top to bottom.
Exactly.
From bottom.
Can you imagine the state of debt that the Nigerian has accumulated, the government has accumulated, and they keep topping it up?
As Nigeria right now, I don't know who advises these people. I don't know who are on their finance team or whatever that would advise you to borrow money to solve a particular problem.
They're not solving a problem. Let me cut you. They're not solving a problem. They're using it for themselves. You know, Peter Obi mentioned one time that borrowing money is not the problem. It's actually good to borrow money as long as you're using that money for the right thing, investing with it. And
but they are not.
Yes, they just acquire money and then spend it.
So what are they now borrowing the money from? I thought they are looting money. So are they borrowing money to loot more?
There was one time where I heard that Buhari bought, I don't know the amount of cars, like luxurious cars for Niger Republic for security purposes. I don't.
Do you know another thing? Yeah, you know when Peter says that the cost of government is too high because you see in Senate House he was still in this regime where they purchased for all the senators there SUV.
Yes.
For like 118. I don't know how many they are, but in hundreds, and they purchased SUVs for all of them, and SUVs running into say millions, really. It's running into millions, and you are using this money for what?
I don't understand.
Exactly. What are you not using SUVs for?
We're not even going to talk about the amount of salaries these senators
collect. They also receive salaries. Why? For what? For what?
What are you doing?
And then let's not also forget the looting. They also loot money.
That looting is something else.
They also loot money. They give you money for something, and you use it for your own personal. So I don't even know it. These people that are looting, they are fourth generation, their fifth generation, will still see money, and the money they're seeing is looted money. It's not even clean money. I'm thanking God for what CBN is doing now, that everybody should return all
the money scarcity is something crazy, but then
it's crazy.
I like it.
But I see where they're coming from right now, because there's just a lot of money that's not in circulation right now. So I think I understand that aspect of what they are doing. Yeah.
I also want to, I don't know, I was talking with my friend, having this discussion, and I was like, is it right to say that Peter Obi is a sacrificial lamb? I will tell you why. I know, I see like what she's saying. All right, so what I'm trying to say is that he understands the state of the country. He's seeing what is currently happening, and is coming in not as someone who is, coming to collect. He's coming to give, because the state of the country now is crazy. So I feel like he understands. And he knows for himself that if he's coming in, there's a lot of things that he himself will have to let go of, or it's something that he's going to give. So I just feel like he's coming in knowing that he's a sacrificial lamb, not to be killed, please. Not to be killed, but then to give his all. And that's amazing.
I think I understand what you're saying, because just like I've said, and someone else in diaspora has said as well, that if he was the one that was P2B and had the kind of experience and capacity that he had, that he would not bother solving Nigerians' problem. Honestly, so when he said being a sacrificial lamb, if you look at it, actually, it's true, because he's coming to serve us. I'm telling you, it can be compared to when the Bible time when God told Moses to lead the people of Israel. I know how stubborn Israelites were at that time, how bad. They were just coming out from bondage. And I feel like we can relate it to now. He is actually a sacrificial lamb, if you think about
the positive side.
The positive aspect, and that is really, I doff my heart for him, because that is someone that is patriotic. That's someone who loves his country, because I will not sacrifice myself for Nigeria as of this point right now, but maybe later. Maybe I think
you're very funny. No, honestly, if I am to try to think about all that is going on in our country, I'm telling you, I am not going to advise, because the thing is too much. Do you know that? Let's talk about the fact that Peter Obi doesn't even rest. The day before yesterday, he was in 3 locations. He was in Lagos, he was in Abuja, he was in Borno. And I think he came late to Port Harcourt, and he was telling those people, I am sorry for coming late. I mean, it's understandable. Why should you apologize?
Do you know, oh my God, this man has principles that the time he went to Uni Abuja, the meeting was supposed to start by 8, and he was there before 8. Aisha Yusufu made a video of when he was coming in, and she was saying, oh, this meeting is supposed to start by 8, and our principal is already here before time. See, let me tell you the normal settings of things, The normal setting is that when a big man, or when
someone of prominence,
someone of prominence they allow them to come late.
Yes.
They give them that privilege to come late. They give them that, oh, don't worry, he's a busy man, he has a lot of things to do. People could have as well made that excuse that he had so much to do. But I just like the fact that he's still maintaining discipline, no matter how difficult and strenuous his schedule has been so far. So yes, we see different attributes. You know, it's by people's actions and inactions that get to determine the kind of person that they are. And we've seen how Peter B is transparent. Oh, we will forgot to mention when he finished with when he was done being the governor of Anambra State, you know how he called EFCC and the rest to come and conduct, to come and check him to see if there was any, any loopholes, if he conducted, if he led the state, you know, if he managed their funds fairly. And I don't know any other governor that has ever done that. I don't know who else would do that. You know, so you could come and check. That was very bold, because
it comes with confidence, knowing that you've done well.
And you've done really well. And do you know what? Because these people can be crazy. What if they now found something that he did not do? But the confidence that he had was like, look, no matter what you want to do, even if you look under a rock, I didn't do anything. Do you understand? And that's the kind of confidence that we need. Not governors or presidents that after they've led, they'll travel out. They'll travel out immediately. Yes, they'll just travel out immediately.
And talking about traveling out, right? There was a time where Peter Obi said that he didn't acquire any, you know, when you travel out, I don't know how they put it, they say you have to acquire a paper, residence permit. He said he refused to get houses or build houses in outside country or whatever, which country it is. He did that because, according to him, it was like, even if Nigeria were to go to war today, he would die in Nigeria. That was one of the statements I heard. That was the first statement I heard. I was like, who is this man, please? I know that he was the governor of Anambra State, but what is he buying for? And I was so interested. Like, it shows that I mentioned sacrificial lamb because who would actually say that thing? A lot of people are saying that he's part of this, he's supporting IPOB or something. But I feel like Peter Obi is so Nigerian.
He is. He's so Nigerian. There's something he said in an interview. Was it? I can't remember which interview that was. And I think they brought up the same question. And he said that, of course, that he's a proud Igbo man. But above that, he's a proud Nigerian. And someone else was saying how this man doesn't just have investments in the east. This man has investments in the north, in the northern states. He has, I think he has a rights. I forgot the name of that rights that belongs to P2B. And he has other investments in different places, in different states of Nigeria. So the concept of this IPOB or whatever will affect him. So if I'm just trying to bring it from the perspective of people who are saying that he is going to divide Nigeria. I'm trying to show people reasons why it's not even possible. It's not even possible.
I think the IPOB are against him somehow, because they're like, you are Igbo and you shouldn't be, you know, clamoring for one Nigeria and all those things. But then it doesn't.
There's just a lot there's just so much that P2B is going to face.
Definitely.
He's even facing it already, because, and I like the fact that no matter who you are, no matter where you're coming from, no matter what you're saying, as long as it's not right, or as long as it's not going to add value to the country, it's not going to affect him, it's not going to change who he is as a person, or change his plans, or the plans that he has generally for Nigerians. So no matter what the rigmarole can be about, it's not changing anything.
Definitely. Okay, I think we should go on a very short break. And when we come back, we will be rounding up.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
The logo is Papa, Mama, Pikin, or LP. On that day, come out in mass, show your energy, show your creativity, do everything you need to do positively to make sure your votes count. That means wait until the end. I am thankful to God for what the Nigerian youths are doing. God bless you all. Thank you.